Hello students, welcome to your computer classroom. So in the previous class we have started our chapter 5 in which we have seen the basic concepts of HTML. So let us come to the textbook. So we have seen that why we need HTML. So it is basically required for writing the different programs, you can say, for designing the web pages, and it stands for hypertext markup language. We have seen what all the terms means. So hyper is the hypertext, whatever the text which is written in HTML codes, so they have some special meaning. Clear? So normal text which we write in any of the text editor, this is different from them, and they have some tags. So on the basis of the tags, the browser understand that what is the position of the text which is going to appear. We can also include images, audios and videos in this HTML program. Then HTML document whatever we are creating, they can be saved with the extension .html or .htm. So these are the file extension of these. Okay, then we have seen who has developed this HTML. So this was developed by Tim Berners-Lee, and the same name is also associated with the introduction of HTTP, that is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and URL, that is Universal Resource Locator. Clear? After this we have seen, let us erase this. So we have seen some important features of the HTML, that is whatever the text which is being written, the program of HTML is, it is case insensitive, means we can write either in lower case or uppercase. Okay, then space and tabs can be used anywhere in the document, so it will not affect the appearance of the web page. Then the extension of the HTML document is .htm or .html. Then the different text editors which are used for writing the HTML document are the Notepad, then gedit. So according to the operating system which we are using, there are some text editors which are provided with the software. We can use those. Then also there are various third-party applications which can be installed on the computer, and we can write the HTML program there. Okay, then today we are going to see the different elements of these HTML programming language. So the first one is, so the HTML text have some special instructions. So these instructions are enclosed in angular bracket, which are called as tags. We have seen some examples also. So these tags are of two types. One is called as container tag and another is empty tag. So what are container tags? Container tags are those which have the opening tag as well as the closing tag. As here you can see example which is given. So whatever the title which you want to be written on the web page, for that we will use a title tag. Clear? So here it is written in the angular bracket, it means it is a tag. Clear? Now the tags which have both, that is opening and closing. So opening can be directly written and the closing have the closing are written with a forward slash. Okay, so if a tag is having both opening and closing, then these are called as container tags. Okay, and those tags which are having only the opening, they are called as empty tags. Okay, now whatever the tag which we are writing, it is known that the HTML is case insensitive, but it is a good practice to write the tags in uppercase letter, that is capital letters. So by writing these tags in capital letters, we will make that this will look different from the rest of the program. That is why it is a good practice to write the tags in capital letters. We can write them in small letters also, but it is a good practice to write them in capital letters. Then as we were talking about that the HTML tags are categorized in container and empty tags. So here it is given the same, that the container tags have both string as well as starting as well as ending. Clear? So a tag is used opened using the opening angular bracket and closed using the closing angular bracket with a forward slash. For example, the HTML tag, here you can see example also. So the first opening tag is without the forward slash, and the ending tag is with the forward slash. Okay, so these both tags which we have written, they are written in the angular bracket. Only difference is the use of forward slash in the ending tag. Okay, so if I see any program, here you can see the HTML tag which is written in the beginning. Clear? Here it is, so it is also closed, so these are the container tags. Then we have head and title, so here you can see that this head, and here it is closed. Then body tag, so body tag has a opening, then body tag has a closing. So these all tags which are having opening and closing, they are called as container tags. Then those tags which are written directly, means without closing tag, they have only a beginning. Clear? So these are known as empty tags. The same here it is given like br tag. So this tag we will see later that this br tag is used for line break in HTML. If you want to switch from one line to another line, for that we use the br tag. So here we have only the starting tag, we don't have the closing tag. So these tags which have only opening, they are called as empty tags. Now coming to the next, that is HTML attributes. So let us see now what are HTML attributes. So in these, the different tags which we are using, some text is written within these tags, so these are called as HTML attributes. Let us read this. So some tags have attributes that offer options for the tag. Most attributes work by setting a numeric or descriptive value. Attributes always go inside the opening HTML tag, and it is a good form to enclose attribute values in a quotation mark. Clear? So whatever the different options which you want, for example, if you are writing any font, so this text will have some font name or some font color. So whatever these options which we give with any of the tags, these are called as attributes. And you can notice that these attributes, so here color is an attribute, and the value which is written for this color, so these colors have some hexadecimal coding. We will see later in the coming chapter that these values are some color codes. So these values are required to be written in double quotes. Clear? So in the same way, if you have to write some name of the font, and then size of the font. Clear? So these will have some values. So these values either will be a numeric value or any text value. So this will be written in double inverted comma, that is double quotes, the quotation mark. I hope this is clear. So these the different options which are provided with these tags, these are called as attributes, and these attributes are always written with the opening tag. Clear? So here you can see that the font which we are writing, this is the opening tag. When later we will close this if it is a container tag, but always the attributes are written in the opening tag. Okay, so here you can see the example which is given, that the font tag has a color attribute that allows you to change the color of the text. Okay, now coming to the next, that is entities. So what are entities? Entities are the special characters such as copyright symbol or a fraction that you can add to a web page by using special codes. Clear? So sometimes there are few things which we want to be included in the web pages and which are not present in the keyboard also. For example, the copyright symbol, here you can see. Clear? So these type of elements which are required to be written in the web page, they are called as entities. So how to write these entities? Here we can see that the entities represent characters not readily available on the keyboard. Clear? All entities are preceded by and ampersand and followed by semicolon. So whatever the entities which we are writing, they begin with the ampersand sign. Clear? So this symbol which we mostly say and, this the name of this symbol is ampersand. Okay, then so these whatever the entity we are writing, they are written in between the ampersand and semicolon. Clear? So for example, the copyright symbol here which is given example. So for writing this for getting this copyright symbol, we don't have this copyright symbol on the keyboard, we cannot type this. So if you want this shape to be included, the copyright symbol to be included anywhere in the web page, so for that we will write ampersand copy and semicolon. Clear? So this will be the HTML code. So by writing this copy, the browser will understand that this is a entity, and as it is written between the ampersand and semicolon. Clear? So it will be translated, you can say, or it will be converted, and this copyright symbol will be displayed on the web page. Clear? So whatever the entity which we are writing, this always is written in between the ampersand and the semicolon. Clear? Now coming to the next, that is how to avoid syntax error. So what are the errors and syntax error? Basically, when we write the HTML program in any of the text editor, it may happen that we are not doing the program in, we have not written the program in a proper manner. So because of some error, because of some mistake, there are some errors which appear in the program. So these errors are called as syntax error. Now let us read this first, then we will also see how we will avoid these syntax error. So you should know always, you should always check your code to avoid HTML errors. Most HTML editors have feature that they highlight wrong text, wrong syntax. Clear? So syntax is basically the rules, or you can say the different as we use any of the language, there is some grammar. In the same way, the programming language which we are writing, they have some syntax. So if you don't follow those rules, the errors which occur, they are called as syntax error. Clear? So whatever the HTML editors, it not always that not all of the editors have these feature, but few of the editors have some features. If while writing the program, if we do some mistake, it get underlined. Clear? The editor itself give you the text in a different color, so that you can identify that there is some error. Clear? Now make sure your tags have brackets, closing tags, include a slash, and attribute values are surrounded by quotation marks. So as we have just seen, whatever the attribute we are assigning, so the values of these attributes are written in double quotes. So if we forget to write use these values in double quotes, or if we forget to close these tags, clear, then the use of ending and opening tags, so these all may cause some syntax error. So it is always required that while we are writing our program, we should check it so that there is no any mistake in the program. Multiple HTML tags should be properly nested, meaning your closing tags should be in a reverse order of the opening tags. What is the meaning of nested? The program which we have seen, so here this program which we have written, this is a nested program. Nested program means, suppose in the beginning we have started with the HTML tag, then after the HTML we write the head tag. Clear? So here you can see the head where we have started, the same in the same straight line we have closed this head tag. Clear? Then the HTML where we have started, this is closed at the same place. So this is called as nesting, means you can say the next line below this or under this, so which is shifted little bit. So this is a nested program. So this is required, and it not necessary that if we will write only this way the program will run. If we will write somewhere else also the program will run, but it is a good practice to write the program so that it is readable it is readable, and the lines of the program are clearly visible for anyone who is seeing the program later. So these are some good programming practices which is required to be followed. So we were talking about the nested, uh, uh, that the tag should be properly nested. So here it is talking about the same, that meaning your closing tag should be in reverse order of the opening tag. So wherever we have started the opening tag, after writing all of the you can say the programming lines below that, it is required to be properly closed. So it should be properly nested. Here as well you can see that we have started the paragraph tag. So this P stands for paragraph, and this B stands for writing this text in a bold italic as we use in the MS Word. Here also we can write these texts with the features. So bold we have started, so first we have closed this bold tag, then we have closed the paragraph tag. So these are the closing tag. Now next is always consider using new lines to type code instead of running everything together in one long line. So as we have seen that we have written our program in multiple lines which were properly nested. So also it is required to be write all of the programs in different multiple lines. So rather than writing the program in a single line, if we'll write in multiple lines, it will be more better and readable. Then it will make the, here also it is talking about the same, that it will make your HTML readable. Doing so will not affect how page is displayed, because web browsers ignore extra white space. So as we were talking about that, the HTML code, if we use some tab or some spaces, so this will not change the appearance of the elements which we are including in the web page. So the space and these tabs can be included anywhere in the HTML program. Next is rendering HTML. So let us see what is the meaning of rendering. Rendering basically is when we retrieve the page from the browser. Clear? So how the text is appearing on the web page, if there is some extra elements like images, some videos, or some other features, table inside those HTML codes. So how the text is appearing, how the elements are appearing on the web page. So this is called as rendering. Let us read this. When a browser displays a web page, it retrieves the HTML file for the page from a server, reads the HTML tags to determine how the content should be formatted, and displays the page. So as we were talking about, whenever we uh, open any web page, so somewhere the HTML file is loaded, so that HTML file is fetched from the server, and then the different elements or the different tags which are written, so by these tags the browser determines that what are the content and how they are required to be displayed on the page. The HTML tags tell the browser what images, video, audio, and other content need to be downloaded and integrated into the page. So as we were talking about that, whenever we open any website, so not always there is only text on the web page. There are various other things like any video. If we open any news website or any e-commerce website like Flipkart or Amazon, so there are various videos, there are various images. So these different elements which are present on any of the web page, so how they are appearing on this web page, they are actually written using some HTML tags. So the process by which the different tags denote that what all the elements are displayed on the web page. So this process of downloading these files to make it displayed on the web page, this process is called as rendering the HTML page. Clear? Then next is HTML version. So HTML is a programming, you can say a programming language using which we design the web pages. So this also have few versions. Earlier it was started in 90s, as we were talking about, by Tim Berners-Lee. So in the same way, after later the programming language got upgraded and there are few various new versions also. So let us see this. So HTML has gone through several versions, each of which expands its capabilities. Although most browsers still support HTML version 3.2 and 2.0, version 4.01 includes rule for using more than 90 HTML tags. So as we were talking about that these HTML have different versions. So in the earlier versions which were like HTML2, then 3, then in 3 also we have different sub versions 3.1, 3.2. So as the versions is upgraded, there are more tags for to be written in the HTML program. Clear? So earlier in the version 2.0 there were less tags. Clear? Then when it get upgraded, as it is written that in version 4.1 there were more than 90 HTML tags. So it is an improvement of previous version by adding better support for multimedia, scripting and style sheets. This version offers new features for creating web pages. So the more advanced, the more better version it is there, we have additional features which have better support for multimedia, which has better appearance on the web page. Clear? There are some other additional features which can be incorporated. So the most recent version of the HTML is HTML5. Now in HTML5 also we have HTML 5.1, 5.2. Clear? So these are the sub versions of this HTML5. This version includes rule for more than 100 different HTML tags. Clear? So HTML5 have more than 100 tags. HTML5 is an improvement of the previous version by including new tags for defining common types of page content. Clear? Then better support for audio and video and drawing capability with the new canvas tag. Clear? So in the HTML5 we have some more better support for including the audio and video features. Then also we have some extra tags, for example a canvas tag. Using the canvas tag we can have the drawing capability, means the page can be used for drawing something or can be designed on a web page. Clear? So this gives us additional feature in the web pages. So HTML5 succeeds HTML 4.01 which was released in 1999. So HTML 4.01 was released in 1991. So HTML5 which we are talking about, this was released in 2014 around. Clear? So then this HTML5 also have some other versions like 5.1, then 5.2. So 5.1 was released around 2016, then 5.2 was released around 2017 or 18. Clear? So this way, after when we progress, the technological advancement is there, we get new versions of these programming languages also. I hope this is clear. Now coming to the next, that is XHTML. So let us see the XHTML now. So XHTML stands for Extensible Hypertext Markup Language. So it is an alternative language for coding web pages. XHTML is also a tag based and use many of the tags used in HTML. So as HTML is a programming language, so this XHTML is, you can say, this have some more extra additional tags and features with the HTML. So in HTML we can incorporate the XHTML features also. So whatever the web page we design, basically there are multiple elements of the web pages. So few of the things can be written in a language, then some other part will be written in some other language. So these web pages, you can say, have multiple elements and which can be written in different languages also. So XHTML is, you can say, one of them, which is a alternative language for coding the web pages. So this is also a tag based and use many of the tags which are used in HTML. However, in XHTML, all tags must be closed. Clear? Then tag names and attributes must be coded in lowercase, and attribute values for the text must be surrounded by quotation mark. So here we have some other extra, you can say, syntax which are there. So whatever the tags which are being written in HTML, they are required to be closed. Then the various tag names and attributes, they are required to be written in lowercase, and the values for the tags, they are surrounded in the quotation marks. So this was also present in the HTML as well. Then most modern browsers can read both HTML and XHTML. So whatever the browser you are using, like Mozilla Firefox, then Google Chrome, Safari, so these are the different browsers which we use. So these browsers can interpret both of these programming language, like HTML and XHTML. Okay, now here we will see the different editors now, that what are the editors which are used for viewing these web pages. Okay, so HTML documents are plain text documents, so you can see any text editing program to code HTML and create a web page. Clear? So editor, by the name editor, we can understand that editor is something which is used for writing our HTML program. Clear? So basically whatever the text we are writing, they are plain text document. Clear? So whatever the tag which is there, it is normally, so it can be written in any of the you can say text program like Notepad, WordPad. Clear? So we are talking here about the same. So first is text editor. So for HTML editors, first is text editor and another is HTML editor. We will see these one by one. So let us see first which is text editor. So a text editor is a program that allows a user to enter, change, save and print text. Clear? So using these editors we can write any of the program, we can enter the values, edit, change and save these tags or whatever the text which is being written. Clear? Then text editors do not have many advanced features, but they do allow you to develop HTML document easily. So whatever the text editor, only we can write the text, we can modify. Clear? We cannot see the output of that. Clear? So using the text editor, simply the writing portion can be done. Whatever the code you are writing, that can be written, it can be modified, it can be saved. Clear? So these you can say that they don't have some extra advanced feature, they are simply used for writing or developing the HTML document. Microsoft Windows comes with Notepad. Okay, so we all have seen that Notepad can be used for writing our HTML program. Then according to the operating system, there are different editors which are provided with the operating system. So the Windows have Notepad, then Apple, the Mac computers or the Mac which is developed by Apple, they have the text edit. The editor there present has a name text edit. Then the Ubuntu, that is the another operating system. So these Ubuntu operating system has a text editor which has a name gedit. Clear? So these three are the well-known simple text editor. So these are provided by the operating system, and any of the HTML program can be written using these basic editors. And not only we can write, we can edit, change and modify. Then later we will see that there are some HTML editors also, which have some extra other advanced feature which using which we can see the other text editing features. Okay, so there we have some extra advanced feature using which we can uh, use different elements of the HTML program. So today we have seen the HTML editors, then the versions of HTML, then the meaning of different container tags and empty tags, what are attributes and entities. Okay, so revise these all once again, and whatever the doubts you have, we will discuss these doubts in the coming online session. So let us meet in the next class with the further new topics and see what are the different other applications of these HTML editors and the different browsers by using which we can see the output of these HTML programs. Thank you everyone.